How are you today? I hope you guys are doing well. Today is a Sunday. Sorry about yesterday. I had a rehearsal that went beyond the time that we had planned, and yeah. So today, kandawe Mutumba Pade, Charles Sebaduka, Antonio Random Things, Ntare Samuel, Joseph Bali Kudembe, Erinaitwe Kevin, Naitwe Kevin, Muyombia Mark, Dennis Mawanda, Tusime Eddie. You know, I've seen the name Dennis Mawanda, and I hope it's not the Dennis Mawanda from WBS. Yeah. Or better, I think I should not be saying I hope it's not. I should probably be saying, if you are the one, say hi. Yeah, so yesterday we bought a Toyota. It's called the Boon. Yeah. It's called the Boon. It's you know, the Toyota Boon is the same as the Paso Sete. Then there's another. It's called over what other name? Gideon Church. It's been a while. King Daniel, Louis, Abdurrahim Kasita, Heath Moses, Samuel Sisye, Jake Seka Javi IP. Yes. Kansule mubagayi muli bulungi. So, kamalega tekakola iti eno, oba gugwako gugweko. Tujabera ba planned kid. So, there is a car called the Daihatsu Boon. Eno gye twaguze gye bayita Boon, twagise erinnya ki on the thingi kwekiri. It's the Daihatsu Boon what? Cosmos Agava High. Yes, Dan High Definition High, Mukwaya Richard High, Muyombia Mark High. Yes, the Luminous. The Boon Luminous. So, apparently, so of course, you guys already know from our conversations that Toyota took over. What? Huh? So you guys already know that Toyota took over Daihatsu. So Daihatsu, yes, in all the cars might be called Daihatsu. We have the Rush, which was the Daihatsu Terios. The Duet was a Daihatsu as well. Obuyong is over Daihatsu. They're under Toyota now. So if you find a Kayongas and it has the 3SZ engine, which is the one that is in the Daihatsu Boon, the Boon Luminous. It's the same engine that is in the Toyota Rush. It's a 1.5 liter. It's the same engine that is in 3SZ. What other car has that? But Gochobo Manya, it's, if you find a 1.5 liter, let's say Paso, it will probably have the 3SZ, because even the Paso was initially the Boon. Boon Luminous, but there's a smaller Boon, which is the Paso now. Which take a twara hawrakira high clip films editunzo buzenyo video quality ojira karating okanaba clip films ndi muzibu nnyo. Suzuki Wagon, Suzuki Solio, if you can avoid them, please try as much as possible to avoid them. I know, and I know why you guys want to buy those cars, probably because ogendo kubarabaramu gatagatamwe. You can get a Suzuki at a fraction of the money that gets you a Toyota of the same size, the same number of seats. Ogendo kwesanga ngaguze Suzuki gulaba ochigatatamu abasinga. But whenever you can avoid buying a car that is not a Toyota in Uganda, try as much as possible to avoid it, because emoroketa Toyota bojugule Uganda inokuba ngo ina sente nyingi. Emma chechiriwo obula nnyo. Charles Sebaduka High. Other names of, but today guys I'm operating under names of Badru. Kari Can you, okay, Dumba, Gaiti, Nsereko Search. But happy Eid. But today I woke up, I did not know it was Eid. So I wake up, I drive to the butcher in a wafe mwaitayo, chimaitayo, game park. Ngenda kubuche waffe nze mbadde simanyi nti Eid awe nalabidde nti Eid, I thought Eid would be tomorrow on Monday. Omanyi bino ennaku ezirina okuba public holiday when they fall on a Sunday, it's not good, especially for people that have nyina abantu abadde baagala okudojinga ku mulimu ewaffe enkya because of Eid naye tubawonye munnange. I reach the butcher, bagita butchery mu luzungu, the butchery, nga abantu tebajjuddeyo enyama si yalayini. Today is the first day I saw a guy saying gwe tonteramu ako kanyama mu nyama yange kakyako kotaddemu. People actually know that this part of the meat is not good. That for me, as long as it's cut from the meat, for me I think it's good, because even that person that is selling you the meat bought it like that. Kati gwe tonsuubira yeggula nyama eyo nga naye eriwamu ate gwe oyagala ayawulemu akuweemu certain. Nze okujjako omuntu bwe banguza ennyama nga mbi, I go back, Mama Urban complains, I don't go back to buy from there again, because bakikola bakigenderera. So whenever I'm going to go buy meat, Mama Urban angamba bw'otuukayo mugambe njagala ennyama ebeera bweti. So as long as they have not told me, I buy meat, I bring it home. Ebisigadde ne mbimulekera inalaba ekyo bikolera. High definition, been looking for you and called your number, but someone else picked it. Nze noonya gwe kennyini. No one has picked my phone. Essimu eyange ne mama ne bwevuga tagikwata. Ate olumu njagala agikwata abeeko bagamba siriwo naye era yagaana. So if you call my number, I answer. You have the wrong number if you call and someone else answers. Arthur, is there a big difference between Boon and Vitz? The Boon is a Daihatsu. The Vitz is a Toyota. But of course, even Daihatsu now is under Toyota. So you're basically buying a Toyota. That's the difference. Nahurira Tom, hi. So we bought a Daihatsu Boon. We bought a Daihatsu Boon. Yes, Boon Luminous. Kate, I used to have a problem with these Paso Setes. Now, for those that don't know, the Paso Sete and the Daihatsu Boon are the same. The Boon Luminous, they are the same. They have this. They share the engine. They share the gear. They share the gearbox. They share the chassis. Which take it. I had a bias with the Daihatsu cars because navuga akayungi na Daihatsu ne kambonyabonya buduwe tubali Daihatsu ne bonyabonya abantu. There are so many. The Terrio says they disturbed people, but I'm inclined now to tell you that if you find a Terrio right now and it has a 3SZ engine, buy it. Buy it. If you find a Daihatsu Terrios, akalabali bakaita batya buli awo Daihatsu SUV obo butonotono. If it has a 3SZ engine, buy it. Now, how do you know which engine is in your car? Some cars kachesi tag kali wano wansi kakubira which engine is there. With some cars it's there. Wano kumpaji yo makati like this one. Outside your passenger. Some cars it's actually in the front in the engine bay, so you can see what type of engine is there. And when you look at it, you also Google it. And then you can use that information to decide whether to buy that car or not. But that doesn't mean you should buy a faulty one. So apparently the Daihatsu 3SZ engine, because buying one SZ, which is in most Pasos, you guys will be surprised. The Vitz uses a Daihatsu engine, the Toyota Vitz, because the Vitz engine, the Toyota Vitz, all of them have the Rukumis, they have a 1SZ engine. Okay, they have a 1SZ engine, and let me just check here and see what engine is in the Toyota Vitz 2011, because right now I think when I have been checking the fuel consumption, and you guys will be surprised. So if you buy a car and it has a 1SZ engine, that's definitely let me see. So Yeah. So Vitz, yeah, they don't have a. They have a 1KR. The 1SZ is in the Toyota Passo. The Toyota Vitz have the 1KR engine. So let's just say 1KR if E 1SZ. So so when you compare the 3SZ and 1NZ, Bond right now, I actually highly commend the 3SZ engine that is in the Toyota Passo. It's in the Toyota Rush. Buy. And you'd be surprised that the 1SZ engine actually has better performance. I don't know why in the Passos, I don't know why. I cannot say, let's see. I've been all night. I was reading about no, okay, not all night, part of the night. I was reading about the 3SZ engine, yeah. And apparently there are some Toyotas that have a 1SZ engine. There's the Toyota DB, the Fan Cargo, the Daihatsu Storia, yeah. But and then the 1SZ is has 4 cylinders, so it will definitely give you better power than the 1KR. However, most Vits have the 1KR. I've driven like 3 Vits with the 1KR engine and I did not have problem with them. Let me see, because it's an inline 3. 1SZ. Okay, guys. And forgive me for reading while I'm here. I'm trying to do some comparisons here to see which engines you should be buying. Apparently, the 1SZ engines, the SZ engines, because the SZ engines are the most of the engines that are manufactured with from the Daihatsu division, because Toyota and Daihatsu. So Daihatsu is a division of Toyota. Let me just start this car. Yes, ako kakoba katukane kabivaako nze nakeesonyiwa kujjako nga nguze kakoba kalala. And let me, when you think about it, I think I should buy another one. So majority of the Vits have a 1KR engine. I've driven the 1KR engine and I have no problem. The 1KR engine will give you better fuel efficiency, better performance for city driving than the 1SZ. Nenga nezi 1SZ tezina nyozi. Arthur, how can you stop your switch of the engine when they are taking your car at night if you're sleeping? Richard, do you have a tracker in your car? Because that's what the trackers I sell do. And when someone comes to steal your car and they take it, you let them take it. You track the car, and of course now sometimes they're going to come take the car, take the phone as well. Now this is what I normally tell the people that buy trackers from me: write my number somewhere, okay? Write my number somewhere, and have the logins of your car in off head. So write my number somewhere, and so that when your car is stolen and probably even the phone is taken, get another person's phone, call me and tell me, Arthur, my car has been stolen. It has a tracker installed. Okay, only call me if the tracker is in your car was installed by me or one of the members on my team. You don't call me when the tracker installed wasn't installed by me. If you bought a tracker from me, keep my number somewhere, write it somewhere in your house or somewhere, because majority of the time the car will be stolen from home. So write my number somewhere in your home. If it's at office, write it somewhere still, because that's in me. You know, there are numbers you should have written somewhere as emergencies. We had trouble some time ago. One of the ladies I work with got robbed at night. You know, these things are so she got robbed, and she woke up in the morning, and the only number she could get was her mother's number. So she had to call her mother to help her get a cousin's number, and the cousin helped her get other people's numbers. Did not have anybody's number written down. So the only number she had was her mother's number. And so I just advised I get a notebook, because thieves don't steal notebooks. Small notebook, write the emergency numbers in there. And when you get such a small notebook, in cases like that where the car is stolen, the phone is stolen, you call Arthur and tell him, you know what, Arthur, I bought a tracker from you, my car has it. And by the way, guys, if you buy a tracker from me, starting the second year, you pay 50K. That's to keep it online all the time, so that it reports in real time. So the car is stolen. You could call Arthur. You'd say, Arthur, my car has been stolen. My phone has been taken as well. You can log in using this login information. Tell me where my car is. And just immediately when you tell me, I'll log in. And if I need to stop the car, I'll stop it. And normally I tell you guys, when you have a tracker in your car, don't stop your car in the middle of nowhere. Stop it on a highway. Stop it in the city center, a place where the thieves will just run away. Okitegeera, because wawa imotoka wegenda okulemera ezikirete ng'omubbi alina kuvaamu akwate boda alekewo emmotoka yo. So try and do that. Okitegeera. And if your car is stolen and you don't have a tracker installed, there is no way for me to help you. Hey, no, you boys, is that where you play from? Okay, lwaki bagamba Vanguard ne Nuwe empya zikubagana mu engine mbuzibola oil, ate emmotoka zonna empya you're supposed to put in the prescribed oil. You put in synthetic oil. Kati synthetic oil is a little more expensive than the normal oil with someone wa kilomita 15, and when people buy it watuka ni bamugamba ono oil agenda mmoloka wa 15 tayagala musamu ng'ateekamu 8. Okitegeera. So that's the trouble. Every engine has a recommended oil, and most of the new cars you need to put synthetic oil. Okitegeera. But of course, the Vanguard has its trouble with the engine, so that's something that is global. Buli wamu trouble bajimanyi. Ben Kako, hi. Travel Life Vlog, hi. Majwala Julius, how are you? Happy Eid, guys. High definition. I don't let go of my phone. I don't. So if someone else picked my phone, you called the wrong number. My auntie wants to buy a Kia Sportage. Is it a good car? Let her buy. She will tell us. The fact that she actually wants to buy a Kia Sportage, it means she has money. So there are cars that I would not even be talking about, because the people that want to buy those cars are normally rich people. Kati omuntu ayagala okugula emmoloka bw'atyo yaba mu loadi ng'omulekanga agula yajja tunyumiza. Otegeera. Joshua Mugalasi. Farmer. Okay. So how did we end up buying a Paso set? Mudope Joshua, hi. Toddy Ronald, hi. Missed Arthur, old model IST versus Vitz budget of 15. Vitz new model. I would actually buy the Vitz new model. The thing with the old model ISTs, most of them are either 1.3 or 1.5. Majority at 1.3. And it's very hard for you to find a Vitz new model that... it's hard to find a Vitz new model that has a 1.3 liter engine. Very hard. The Vitz that have a 2SZ engine. It's also a Daihatsu engine. Not good. I'm telling you a fact. Omuntu agenda vuga Vitz CC 10 ajiwanga azengo wa Vitz 13 erimu 2SZ yefudde. Okitegeera. So I would buy Vitz, because it's newer technology, it would give you better fuel consumption. So I'd definitely buy. But if your budget is 15 million, Vitz new model ngero genda funa nkadde. Togenda funa Vitz new model ngampya. It's a fact. Togenda jifunanga na ebyokukola bingi. Vitz new model. From what I've seen in the market, the Vitz new model itandiko enungi, etandikira million 17. Ronald Muchwa, hi. Morad Kemomo, happy Eid. Budget of 2025, 1.5 engine of Funachi. Practice, Vitz ya 1.5 yaka adi million inga asatu. But practice, Sienta, Raum, new model. Oza sizezo. Muruka chenda ya sisi lukumbitani ndala. Firstborn, how are you? Happy Eid. Ninge zo sente zo simbi. Vilgas zo simbi. Rumioni na eto ezimuto jazi jamu bond na ingo zifuna. ate nga nnungi nnyo. So anyway, how did we end up buying a Paso Sete or Boon Luminous? How did we end up buying a Boon Luminous? So this gentleman calls me and he says, you know what? I want to buy a RAV4, preferably a RAV4. Now, normally when someone wants to buy a RAV4, they're SUV people, the SUV fans. And the budget was 20 to 25 million shillings. Now, normally I would tell you that normally I would tell bwe mba soogedde field akitegeeza field mbadde njogera ku zoyinza okujja mu bondi field ojja gifuna naye ijja kuba nkaddemu ejja kuba nkaddemu kati omuntu alina miliyoni 2.25 amazima gani nti singa obadde osobola waliguza emmotoka ya bondi ne bweba si emmotoka y'ekirooto kyo wekitegeera ne bweba si emmotoka y'ekirooto waligenza n'ogula emmotoka mu bondi because byonna byonna bye tuliko nti mmotoka z'ekirooto tukyakola we're still looking for money, so you'll get money to buy your dream car. And after you've driven some of these cars, you'll no longer have a dream car because then you realize that, hey, I was dreaming about this car. Kumbe, it's like this, it's normal. Why is Fielder more expensive than a Raum of the same year? What can I tell you? When you look at both cars, definitely the other car looks better. And I have to figure out the idea that comes with shipping, with taxation. The Fielder pays a little higher tax than the Raum, which it pays a little higher. But also there, when you look at these cars, most people want to buy the 1.8 liter version. The 1.8 liter version of the Fielder pays more tax than the 1.5 liter version. But also the demand. People don't really, most of the people that buy the Raum, they buy the Raum because they buy the Raum simply because it's what is there in their price range. It's very hard. Most people that we have bought Raums with, it's what we can afford. Why don't we just buy the Raum or then you buy another car? So that's what has happened with the Raums. Yet the Fielder, people actually abantu baveeringa field aganze njagala gula Fielder no matter what. So we go to the field tomorrow to buy a Raum, to buy a RAV4. But when I got to the person that wanted to buy, there was up and down on the choices. We found he was at a Kaundo, and then then it came about the Kluger was also a choice, Kaundo was a choice. And then this person had previously owned a Nissan X-Trail, which wasn't a very good story. And then they were addicted to buying the SUV. And now, for the guys that want to buy SUVs, you need to understand what happens with the SUVs is that maintenance is a little higher because tires are more expensive, brakes are more expensive, shocks are more expensive, washing is more expensive, and service is more expensive. So you need to understand that the moment you buy an SUV, you're not going to be maintaining a sedan. You're not going to be maintaining an estate car. You're not going to be maintaining a hatchback. You're going to be maintaining an SUV. Which take it the Uganda one. So the moment, even the fuel wise, you'll be driving an SUV because, for example, the Kluger is a 2.4 liter. A Toyota Kluger. Let me see if I have it here in my just to see. You see, I'm interested. I'm actually interested in buying the Toyota Vitz 2011. According to my records here, it shows that it can actually give you 20 kilometers per liter in the city. Let me just look at what car was I looking at. Let me see if I have a Kluger here. Kluger Teddy one. Yeah, I have a Kluger here. So a Kluger in the city. Kluger. Let's look at the Klugers that you guys are buying right now. Let me see the 2007. This is not right. If it tells me that it gives me 6 liters per 100 kilometers, that's totally not right. Something was wrong here. It's a Toyota Kluger. Let me see. No, it's not right. So it's normally, if you buy like a 2005, still it says 7 kilometers per liter per 100 kilometers. Still doesn't look right, because normally a Toyota Kluger will normally give you 7 to 8 kilometers per liter, but it says it will give you 14, which is totally not right. Yeah. So you guys want to check. Normally this info is not really verified sometimes, but you can go to the website called the fueleconomist.com and check out and see if it's accurate what it's telling you. I'm surprised at what this website reports on some cars. Some cars where people are saying it should give you about 18. This website is actually saying it will give you 9 kilometers per liter. Together. So Mudope is saying 1 liter 7.5 kilometers. Yes, but it's actually saying, let me just check another car here. Let me see what the Alphard tells us. The Toyota Alphard, most of you guys are driving a 2007 now, and it says it will give you 10 kilometers per liter, and on highway 11 kilometers. On the highway, that should be, if it's 100 by 11, that means it will give you 9 kilometers. Yeah. And then if it's in the city, yeah, 10. Hasmat, hi. So we went about netunonya netulaba Kawundo, but the reason why we did not even consider the Kawundo, because right now you need to understand that the Kawundo that is lower than 30 million, and it's a little bit expensive to maintain. Then the other thing that you should consider before you buy a car is that a car is as comfortable as you're driving it. It's the car's comfort is not like food that you're going to eat it and enjoy it here. Because when we go to eat ice cream, for example, you eat ice cream for once and you enjoy it, and then next time you can eat it again. You can even try different flavors, different places that make ice cream, and it's different. But the thing with the car is that you're stuck with that thing forever, because of the luxury you wanted to feel at least once. That's why normally I say, before you buy a certain car, if you can hire it somewhere for like a week, no hiring, no for that period of time, it would actually be a very good thing for you. So first hire it for a week, drive it, and if you like the feel of it, like, okay, this is something that is extraordinary, then you can actually buy it. Because some cars will cost you a lot of money, yet they're not worth it in the end. In the long run, it might not be worth it. So this is a conversation we kept having, like, okay, with our budget of 25 million, why are we sticking to the SUVs? And this person really wanted an SUV. However, in the end, we talked about it, and for me, I was like, okay, if we went to some popular places in Nakawa, and we saw a RAV4 which was at 25, the Kawundo was at 28. We went and saw a Kluger at 27, which was bad. Twarabe Kluger, it was a blue on top, Nenga Temunda ya maroon. The SC still had issues. Then it RAV4, the RAV4 we saw at 25, it had electrical issues with the SC. Guys, the reason why I normally recommend you wash your own car is that the guys that you give to wash your cars, buy your Amazon control units as a SC. Buy your Amazon SC. The SC system is very hard to like repair if the electronics have a problem. It's very expensive to maintain. So I would advise that you wash. In fact, when we bought that Paso Sete, okay, the Boon Luminous, I told this gentleman, you know what, you at your home, you have an askari, let the askari wash the car. Show him exactly how you want your car washed. Besides, at home, you are using tap water, not stream water. Stream water gaba machafu. At work, still, if you want it washed at work, tell the askari what to do, how to wash it. Na abana ba washing bebano urumba leta ebiwolonga birimu amazi ne bayiwa amazi esi control units zino nezita amazi olumutwale mu rukambu bajoze mu engine mu engine no munayiwa amazi water inagayibwa, you get electrical issues okitegera. You don't want to go there. Hi Juko, Christmas mutati na Jerisha Motors. Hi. So we went about Then after seeing the Kluger, we saw about 3 Klugers in one place. Then we drove nga tulina gye tugende ye Bakuli, which place also had a lot of them. And then we went via a certain place where we saw 2 Rumions. I did not like the Rumions, and yet they were highly priced. So I did not like the Rumions. I didn't even ask what price they were. So we drove, and as we were driving going to Bakuli, we called someone. We kept calling. For us, we kept calling because at 25 million shillings, you should be able to get a new car, right? But of course, now the person that was buying was a little picky in regards to what car they want. So we kept calling, and then someone told us, "Come, I have a Rumion at 28." And then we drove. Then we tried to say, Rumion, Teddy, you. So we went through the bond. So because then we said, okay, what if we considered? We went and saw Rumions. They looked really nice, but they were not 28. They were 30. So we saw the Raums. Which were also looking nice. Actually, considering I'm considering the Raum. It's just that the Raum is a little low. Now I'm seated in a car that's almost an SUV. But I'm inclined to actually try the Raum myself. The one NZ that is modern, which they don't have in that car yet. So, and as because initially I had mentioned the Paso Sete as an option for these people, SUV. So when we got to the bond, we are looking at Raums because eventually they considered and they said, you know what, let's buy a new car. So we are looking at the Raums, and then this person goes and looks at the Paso Sete. You know, there are 2 types of Paso Sete. There is a Paso Sete that has a gap here in the middle. In the center here, there is a gap. Yeah. And then there is a Paso Sete that has omutonga gumalayo, like a bench. Yeah, it's not really a bench, it's comfortable, but it's one seat that goes from the driver's side to the passenger side. And this person liked the Paso Sete that doesn't have the center thing. Like there's a gap. So the lady would be driving this car majority of the time. And you know how ladies be. She wants her bag to be here. So that's, I assumed that's the biggest reason why she wanted the Paso Sete that has this gap. She can grab her bag, put it there. She can have her phone, put it there. Or she take it. So, but in the place where we were, it was only one, and it was bought. But it looked really nice. So we saw others, and they had this the bench arrangement of the driver's passenger seat, and then we went to this other place which had also only one with the center gap here, and we checked it and decided to buy it. Now this is where I started getting interested in understanding why the Paso Sete shares the engine with the Daihatsu Boon. You get, because when you look at the guys that saw the post that I put, if you look at the front of that car that we bought yesterday, it has a D. It doesn't have the Toyota logo, yeah. It has a D because it's a Daihatsu. But so I got interested. Then someone here was saying, why don't people like the trim cam engines? Most of these cars, even the one NZ is a twin cam. Which take it, they call it DOHC engines. It's a twin cam. It has two camshafts. It gives good fuel efficiency because then you have 2 camshafts that help with efficiency. Now the 3SZ engine is a 1.5 liter engine, just like the 1NZ engine. However, on reading more about it, I discovered that the 3SZ engine is actually a dual VVTi. Do you know what that means? It will be able to give you better performance, better fuel efficiency than our popular 1NZ engine. It's just that the 1NZ engine is popular. It has been in so many Toyota cars. But right now, since Daihatsu is also being embraced, especially now in Uganda, we are embracing the Daihatsu. The Rush is actually the Daihatsu Terios. But now it's a Rush. I don't like the Rush. I find that no SUV should be that small. But right now, Rush Mugende Mugure. It has that engine. We have so far bought 3 Paso Setes. We have never got a problem. We have never gotten and the first Paso Sete we bought was in 2022. It's still running. We have bought 3. So this was, I think, Paso Sete number 4. So you can buy. Chitex is a Toyota Rush you can buy. They have automatic gearboxes, not CVT, which is good for you. But of course, you don't need to service the gearbox even then. And the fact that the 3S multiple cars means that it's actually one of the trusted engines by Daihatsu. So you can go ahead and buy any car that has a 3SZ engine. Mavo Gadget Center, hi, how are you? Long time. Advise me, how much should I prepare for a good G touring today? I realized I must buy one for my business. Today I was from buying 6 sacks of G-nuts. It rained on me. I had borders because my motorcycle couldn't. Sorry, Tom. The G touring you can even get at 7. But to be safe, have your car 10 million lying there so that you can have options. Actually, for the guys that have wanted the Pro Box for a very long time, if you cannot afford the Pro Box, because they use Pro Boxes, most of them are bad. So, but if you cannot afford the Pro Box, buy a G touring. You can buy a G touring at 10 million or lower. It's even very easy to manage. Raum gonna we twatambudde nga bagamba million 26 for a Raum okitegeera. Paso Sete and Boon Luminous aren't they different? They look the same. No, they are the same car, by the way. They are the same car. So I'm imagining that when Toyota took over Daihatsu, they just adopted some of the cars, rebranded some, kept some. So they rebranded the Terios to the Toyota Rush, and then they rebranded their Boon Luminous into the Paso Sete. So they kept producing the Luminous as well, but then they also kept producing the Paso Sete. I think it's the same thing that they have with the Toyota Boon, which is actually the Paso. So the Boon kept being produced, but the Paso also kept being produced. So if you find a Daihatsu Boon, buy it, because spare wa Paso no wa Boon yom which tegera. There is that 2020 Toyota Rush model commonly driven in Dubai, but I'm in love with it. It's in Dabikanze Sinagira year 2020. But you know me, I find that Toyota is losing it with design. Have you guys seen the 2025 Land Cruiser? It doesn't look good. I like things that are curvy. Zijara nyimoroke ziri curvy. Chobola bibi Land Cruiser ya mwe mwagala Antonio. I actually like the Mitsubishi L200 because it's curvy. I like the Isuzu D-Max because it has curves. The Hilux, when the moment it loses the curves, I don't like it. There are these Land Cruisers as the Ministry of the Wildlife Authority uses. I don't like them because the ambulances, those things have no curves. A car is supposed to have curves. Which take here. Yeah. So we went and bought that car. And apparently, car traders are not loyal to anyone. So we go to the bank to pick money, and then someone calls me. So, of course, I went with the practice that I do. We don't deposit on a car. So we go to the bank, bring the money. If it's still available, we pay for the car. If that person buys it before us, let them take it. We will find another car. Yeah, but we came back and the car was still available. You guys, I think Bogule Moroka right now, there are so many cars that have bush issues down there. Kati, like me, I already changed the bushes once. You guys remember I told you that. I think I changed the bushes in like 2 months. And normally when I tell people to service their cars that way, there's someone we bought a car with in 2022. He went to the garage 2 days ago. After buying the car in 2022, we got it from the bond. Ajivuze, twajigula end of 2022. End of 2022. Najivuga 2023 yenna. Yagenze mu garage 2 days ago. We either bought it end of 2022 or beginning of 2023. It's a fielder. So, dude drives the car. Nagenda up country. Naraga ngemuro kataka ni kachusa buchusa oil because we told him don't touch the gearbox. So guy achusa oil. Gavuga. So dude, I saw him one time and he told me, dude hadn't even changed the brakes. Nothing. The only thing he used to do was change engine oil filter, and the air filter. Since 2022 when we bought the car. This is 2024 June. 6 months in 2024, 12 months in 2023. That's a year and a half. He had never fixed anything. So now I actually realized that they are serious. Because me, I realized in the interview and sikanika. But like me, when I change my brakes, bwenteeka bush ku mmotoka okusikkanika, that's maintenance. But apparently people n'ebyo tebabikola. So dude goes to the garage 2 days ago nga buli kimu kirwadde, obukono, bolo joint, shock absorbers, emipiira nga avuga mumbwa, brakes. And you know what prompted him to go to the garage? He went to do engine service and they told him, you know what, go change your brakes, shoko zonna tulaba nfu. That's how he went to the garage after more than a year of driving that car. So nga bajjamu bagula shoko zonna, nga bagula emipiira ena, nga wansi yonna oba yavuddewo nga aspendinze sente meka. But can you imagine driving a car for more than a year nga tolina kyokoze? Me, I was already fixing my car in a week. You remember? Wekitegeera. And actually, for the guys that are buying cars from the bond, check your oil or water levels regularly, because emotoka ezo zijja n'obwo bu connectors bumanyi okukaddiwa ne butandika okukola leakages. Wekitegeera. After it means that and Subaru and Max are under Toyota. Subaru is a Toyota, Joseph. Subaru twawamba. Most people actually know that service is changing oil, and the rest is not really that. Joshua, me, I'm surprised. Me, I was telling one of the people that are close to me, I was telling them that, you know what? I was telling them that nze mmotoka eno sinagivuga myezi 5 naye naguze shoko z'emabega, nagikola bush z'omu maaso, okitegeera, nagisamu plugs empya. Guy was surprised, like, are you sure? Actually, but that's normal maintenance. For you to keep your car healthy, you need to do those things. Okitegeera. Did that guy bother listening to his car? He was. JK will be surprised. I drove the car. Nze mwenye nenjivuga ne kukubo ly'ettaka nga tekubagana. Mwalimu akantu akakulika kube emabegera ne nkamugamba kekoka. And you guys will be surprised. Shoko z'omumaaso zirwawo koona. Zirwirawo dda shoko z'emabega zizitera okukoona. And then nebiri ebigundi the bush z'emabega nazo zikoona, naye shoko bwe ziba nfaate ebibush tebikoona. So dude was driving the car all the time, ngagenda ne up country, ngagenda wa ningatakanika. And there are so many people that are like that on the road. Kati gwe olaba muntu kwewaana nze yemoroka yemanye ennaku njivuze emyaka 2 sikanika. You guys think guys are joking. They are not. Ate kyemanyi ne service ndoza gaya amala genda ku mafuta ne bagula bonnet ne bake oil wakomadde mu kyusa ne banalyoka akyusa, okitegeera. So you guys need to get those things checked out, ball joints, otherwise you guys will get very serious accidents. 3 days ago, a person that is really close to me had an accident. Their car rolled. And mbadde mu waterfall. I was told on Friday, okuva ku Friday neggulo lonna ne kaakati siina maanyi mu mikono. You know, we have had accidents. Of course, one of my followers here had a similar accident, but I think because he was not so close to me, I felt it, and we were both feeding for the cans and I. But this person that had their car roll is actually closer to me, and the car aside, I'm looking at what the post-accident effects, what the accidents will leave you with. First of all, when you get an accident, your car is getting spoiled, sometimes unrecoverable. 2, there is that mental torture. Bajita, you get the trauma. Nze, I wasn't in that car. It's not my car. I wasn't driving. I may not even be affected physically or financially, but I have trauma. Nze mwenyini kati nvuga mpola. Nyo, nasalidde ddala speed. Because this person says their car rolled and they were not running, which I doubt. I doubt that because muntu muddusi wa misinde. Then this person says all of a sudden the steering rack got hard and then the car wasn't moving. But then the part of the story that came was that and a border guy was also doing the same. So me, in my imagination, because I've been part of accidents before, I know that normally when the accident is happening, when you're confused with what to do, you try the steering rack, and at that moment, the steering rack is not doing anything. That's what accidents are. I think this person did not expect to find a border guy in a corner, and then they found the border guy there, and then in struggling to dodge the border guy, that's when the car went off the road, and then it overturned. But That very day, of course, this person came out of the car alive, and then they passed out, and then they went to hospital. They gave them medication, and then of all the story, when we were sharing the story of the accident, I noted some certain things that probably for the guys that drive their borders and cars every day on the road, you guys need to take note of them. First of all, this person, the couple have relatives in that are in the army. So they went to the army hospital, and when they got there, they said tetuyinza kukwata ku mulwadde nga talina mujjanjabi. And then these people said, naye afande gundi ajja bikolako. And because of their afande relative they have, they were taken care of immediately without asking a lot of questions. Then they were let go to go home. Then they went for scans to 2 different hospitals. But one thing you need to understand is that just in the space of like 12 hours, they had spent about 2 million shillings. Naye nga 2 million shillings temuli muntu oba batunze omuntu oba bakoze eki, just checkups okitegeera, checkups. And then there was a headache. The person just, how can I describe it, had a very big headache, very strong headache, and that's majorly what was worrying them. But post-accident, they have 1 car which just rolled, and after the accident, they had to take taxis, take borders. I've just realized at that one moment, your mind cannot really cross to which person can I call now to get help. And I think for me, I'm disturbed more by the post-accident events than the accident itself. The things that will happen after the accident. This person was lucky that all the things that were in the car, people collected them and gave them to one person who went with this person to the hospital. So everything was saved, and the car was taken to the police and all. But what happens after the accident is actually what should worry you guys that drive on the road more than the actual accident. Because the actual accident, you may survive it. Now, when you survive the accident, what you have to do after the accident. And I think I've been driving slower than ever. I did not have power after I got the phone call. I drove and I went to say hello, and I sat there. I think I sat in their house for like 30 minutes. I was simply asking questions like, okay. I was simply learning. And then I realized that at the moment when you have problems, even people that want to help you may not be able to help you. Bayinza oba tebasobola kukuyamba because olumu oyinza obagamba naye ng'obudde bw'obagambiddemu tebasobola kukuyamba, oba oyinza okuba okubayamba naye nga ky'obagamba kinene kibasusseeko. Okitegeera? So the post-accident events, the post-accident spending is actually scary, more scary than the accident itself. So in that accident, no one else was hurt. The border guy survived properly, and the owner of the car survived. So now they have to the struggle right now. And you know what happens is that after the accidents, which happened like 2 days ago, these people are hosting their friends at their house now. It feels like, okay, now life has to actually move on. And then if you are planning something, you have to actually do it like nothing happened. Okitegeera nti ogenda gwa kabenje nga ewamu waliyo omukolo gw'okwanjula bagukole nga wagudde kabenje. Engeri yokayoko omukolo gye butajja kuba gw'omugole nga gwafunye akabenje ate ne kaba kabi nnyo, wabula era akabenje ojja kafuna ng'owenyera era omukolo tebajja kugusazaamu, gwe wenyini ojja gati tugusazaamu, we have put in a load, let's have the function. Okitegeera? So for me the post-accident things are actually the issue. Okay, let me see. Hi, JK. Car relationship gives you the feeling whenever something is wrong, you feel it. Some guys just drive. Yeah, but of course, this gentleman, so it's his first car. It came from the bone. I'm thinking he thought of the car like a phone. Hello, Arthur. Thank you for the good work. Some advice, Chikumi Kumi. It's fuel consumption. Gura, the fuel, it will give you about 8 to 10 kilometers per liter. even less sometimes. Anti-front shocks have the counterweight from the engine, so it takes long for most people to notice. Yeah, it's called PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, that mental torture. And JK is saying I was once in a car that rolled in 2006. It wasn't speeding, it was a surf. We were 3 and nothing happened to us, even when the car was totaled. JK, you'll be surprised when someone tells you we are not speeding. They are speeding. Katika mbabudde ekintu kimu, emmotoka gy'ovuga ku kkubo ly'ettaka, chances of that car rolling are high. Era mmwe bantu ntera bagamba wano, when you're driving on a Maram road, do 30 kilometers per hour. Mulowooza nsaga, maximum should be 40 kilometers per hour. Ku kkubo ly'ettaka, even 40 kilometers per hour is high. Ku kkubo ly'ettaka. So ng'ate bw'obeera ku kkubo lya tamake, 40 kilometers per hour is very little speed. So you guys, when you're driving on a Maram road, make sure you don't go beyond 40 kilometers per hour, with 40 being maximum. But majority of the time go at 30 kilometers per hour. Okitegeera. Mwe guys, ono kyayise PTSD waswa. Nze ndi traumatized. I was not in that accident, but I'm traumatized, I'm telling you. I've been involved in accidents myself, but I've not, Mzenga Arthur, I've never been in an accident where my car rolled. I've not, and I hope I never get to be part of that. And there was an accident in Zitenyo, to the extent that I made sure that my kids learn seat belting very early on. This person yabadde tasibye musipi, so nafuna various injuries on the head. But you see, I think I have to keep reminding you guys how the seatbelt works. Wogusika mpola mpola what? The seatbelt goes smoothly. Now, yeah, this seatbelt is designed in a way that bwe gusensinga stress oba okwekanga gukwata, okiraba kati wano ne bwokola kiteguvaawo, which means but bwegusika mpola it goes, but when you pull it at once, that's what accidents do. The accident ekanga emmoroka omulundi gumu. So kitegeeza, if you have your seat belt on, emmoroka ne yeekanga, omusipi gujja kukwatira wano, weesangenga at that moment you're in that one position. Now if you have a car that has airbags like this one, in emmoroka yange erina wano airbags, erina where the other curtain airbags ziri wali mabega, erina these curtain airbags, these ones come and do this, erina eno yawa neyo steering ekuba wano, then the passenger erina eri wali in a curtain airbag, then there are other curtain airbags behind. So kitegeeza, if you have a seat belt on, the seat it means the seat belt will actually lock you up here, and then these airbags will hold you in case they deploy. But even if they didn't deploy, you realize that if you, let me see, normally I drive when my seat is like this. So if my seat is like this and there is shock, there is shock and I get trapped here. Now, you know what that means? Because the seatbelt is actually holding your waist, yeah? It means if the car is rolling like this, yeah, you're not going to go hitting yourself here because the seatbelt is actually holding you. But if you don't have a seatbelt, it's off and the car is rolling, you don't have any kind of support. So, nze, nsibo musipi. Era abaana bange tebakyatula nga tebasibye musipi. They would be asking me, Daddy, can we put off our seatbelt while I'm Morocco stopping? And then I tell them, don't. We were on a tarmac road in Mokono opposite the police station. We all had seatbelts on, and that's what saved us. On Maram Road, I do 20 kilometers per hour. I wish I could do 20 kilometers per hour, but I get bored. 20 kilometers per hour is too small. Yeah, sometimes I've done 60. Sometimes I've done 80 on Maram roads. You know, ekkubo ly'eggomba nga tebannalikola, nasomako ne muganda wa Bobby Wine, and we used to go to Gomba often. Ekkubo ly'eggomba lwali tennalikola lyaliko oluyinja. Kyekimu ekyali Busaabala. Busaabala baakolayo tebannakolayo. Ekkubo ly'e Busaabala. A friend of mine tried to soma naye Makerere yalina ka FX, ka Toyota FX. And ka Corolla FX, and for him, the very first day we decided as a class to go to the beach, he overturned his car. Somehow I've been saved. I don't know. I think I'm really scared of accidents, that sometimes I control. But I also find that most of the times overturning emotoka ezo kulinya brakes when you're not supposed to be braking. Emotoka eno ogiraba bwekukanganga, your first instinct should not be to brake. It should never be to brake. The first instinct should be to take your foot off of the brakes and then control the direction. Ebiseera ebisinga abantu babula direction. When a car overturns like this or like this, you have braked at the wrong time. That's one thing that I've realized. But your goal should be to control the direction. Me, I've been in situations where like I've 2 times I've found makona again on Maram roads. 2 times I've found trucks there and I just fought with direction. And also the other thing, I don't know if I've told you this, boberanga ku Maram roads oba misana oba kiro bobo genda yingire kona kube ngombe hoot as much as possible bobo yingire kona so that the person on the other side knows that there is a car coming. And then if you're driving at night mumakona muteke full lights. As a matter of fact bobo vuga ku Maram roads ekiro full lights all the time until you see that it's a car coming. The other reason why you should put full lights always is because abana ba boda boda eno mbyale waffe basibako ebintu ojja musanga asibyeko oluggi asibyeko ekitanda golimeteekamu full lights okola eki omwana akutomeza oluggi. Some other causes are also to do with tire pressure. You know that also affects handling of the vehicle on different driving terrains. Most drivers overlook that too. Yeah, and then I recently learned that the pressure should be standard. The motoka inakubange balance 35 in front, 35 behind. Don't do 35 but 40 behind. The reason why people used to put 40 was because the motoka is diversity kanga. So do 35 in front, do 35 behind. Which together. And then ekirala kimulina okumanya omupiira guno bwe gutambula ku kkubo gufuna heat eyongera pressure mu mupiira okitegedde baaba. So put 35 so that way eyongeramu pressure because of the heat it goes up to 40. Mark 2 blit is the same as the Mark 2 just buy. Nakauka road you can't exceed 20 kilometers per hour. Nakauka by the way likubo nalivuga ko lina ebinnya bingi but still I was driving 30. Talk about people who feet on the dashboard, slake queens, especially in case of an accident. The airbag will break the legs, pelvis, maybe even fractured skull. But which people do that, Vilgas? I've not seen people do that, Vilgax. I've not. People, new Maram is sweet and tempts a lot. Ekirala kyendaba, stick to your side. If you're driving good daily, always be on the left. But always know wajja kubayo ababoda ababoda bebasinza odeta obubenje obwo obusinga ku Maram roads omugwako n'omwekanga nga yawanisa amagulu ali bwati nakuleetera ebizibu. Guys, kamba siibule 2 minutes to the top of the hour. Mwebale kubeera ku broadcast. I hope it has been a great. I'm still traumatized by the guys. Ndimuka trauma ate kaamaanyi that someone really close to me gwentunako bwentengamba ono omuntu yawonya accident ey'amaanyi yawonera eddala accident ey'amaanyi where their car overturned. I don't know how I would react. Then ekirala mpoza engeri gye njagalamu emmotoka yange. I don't know how I would react when my car overturns. And then I think the other reason why I drive slow is because sometimes I have my family in here and I'm imagining, like, would I ever forgive myself if something happened to my kids because I was driving fast, because in bad day and papa. So I think I'm imagining all that trauma, all the spending post-accident, man. Kamba sibuli. Mutumba Pade, Charles Sebaduka, Antonio Random Things, Ntale Samuel, Joseph Bali Kudembe, Arenaitwe Kevin, Muyombia Mark, Dennis Mawanda, Tusime Eddie, Samuel Sisi, Musomesa, Jay Sekaja, Heath Moses, Abdurrahim Kasita, Louis, King Daniels, Joseph Bali Kudembe, Gideon Viri, Cosmas Agaba, Diane High Definition, Mukwaya Richard, Muyombia Mark, Ruf Sajanda, Dumba, JFK Arts, Twa, Hawalakira, Keep Films, Eddie Tunes, Bukesa, Emma Cafero, Guy T, Sereko Starch, Nahurira Tom, Galasi Joshua Mix Farm, Chiza Tadeo VIP, Firstborn, Travel Live Vlog, Ben Kako, Majwala Julius, Mist, Mudope, Joshua, Derek Lule, Ronald Muchwa, Morad K. Momo, Vilgax, Firstborn, Okot SP, Hasmat, yes, Mavo Gadget Center, Katugwensi Edison, Wasarodic Fosca, JK of course, Jovan Mugume, Mugisha Elvis, Tumuhimbise Darius, Nsereko Jonathan, Crispus Mutatina, Edison Tuinemu kama Tone Calvin, Sima. My woman likes doing it and we always fight in the car. Hey guys, may God bless you. When you're on the Maram Road, do 30 kilometers per hour. Tosukao banange bagayi bange. 30 kilometers per hour. Bobo genze wala nyo kola 40. Otherwise, ebizibu ebijja post accident bingi ate bifiiriza banaye. Mukama abawa omukisa. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Ciao.